Good morning. This is Town Dog. I'm back with another round of Flight Simulator X. We're going to try to do a little plane flight from this morning from LakeFront, New Orleans, over to a little small grass strip on what looked to be a very small round lake. It's still in Louisiana apparently by the title on it. I didn't even check the borders, but the name of the airport is Little Pecan Island, and I don't see no island on the map. It says Little Pecan Island. It's a little small round lake. The airport's sitting just to the south of it, on the bank more or less, and it's only 3,000 feet grass strip. The only electronics between here and there is a little small VOR. The VOR name is, let me find it, White Lake, and it's a little while before you get there. I don't know how far though. I don't have any distances because I haven't learned to scale that on a map. Every time you zoom it, the scale changes, so you get lost. I'm not sure how long this flight is. It's just from here to there, and we'll hopefully not get lost on the way. We'll leave Round Lake. We'll leave Lakefront on a heading of 265, and we'll fly to the VOR 11040, which is White Lake is the name of the VOR. We'll leave it on a heading of 285, and we'll try to get into Little Pecan. We'll try to find that little lake, that airport sitting on the bank of it. There's another airport just to the north or south of that, but we don't want it. I forget the name of it right now. I thought I wrote it down, but I don't see it. It was a little funny name too, I think. Yeah, it was. Nunzi, N-U-N-E-Z, I think. Anyway, it don't matter. It's not the one we're going to. Couldn't pronounce it, but it did. So anyway, we're going to try this right here. We're going to try this little flight. What I'm going to do is I'm back in my little biplane this morning. I'm going to push it back out of the hangar here. And once we get it out of the hangar, we'll try to fire it up and taxi to a runway. Hopefully I can get the northwest runway. If I go west from here, I should run into it after a while. Taxi west, and it should run into the northwest runway. I'd like to take it out over the water to the north and then turn 265. See if we can find that VOR out there. It's a low altitude, so we'll have to be within 50 miles of it to find it. If you miss it more than that, you ain't going to see it. So that means I got to be fairly close on my heading. I hope I'm close enough. So let's see if we can get this thing pushed out of here and select my screen so everything will work. All right, here goes our pushback. Built a little white biplane again this morning. I like this little plane pretty well. We're going to push it back out here, get it out enough room to turn around, then we're going to fire it up. I haven't checked the fuel in it. It should be full because I just started the simulator to set it out here, but also had another plane going when I've done it before, so it might be. Sometimes it'll take the fuel you had last and give it to you instead of giving you a full tank, but most of the time it'll give you a full tank. Let me lock the brakes a minute. I can't do a VA on this one because the Little Pecan Island Airport is not in the VA listing. I checked it earlier. There wasn't in there, so I can't make a VA out of it. I try to pick up a VA every chance to get because I got to fly at least one every so often just to stay up to date. I try to fly one every day or two at least. Sometimes I go 2 or 3 days. Sometimes it's long one, sometimes it's short one. Let's see if we can get this thing. Well, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it right there up and I'm going to get that ready. I've only got one signal, so it's between here and there. The signal is 11040, low altitude VOR. I'm going to go ahead and set them right now before I even start fire up. 11040. That's it right there. Now that's ready. There's nothing else to use. That's all of it. We're going to leave on a heading out of here. Well, we got to get this turned on before we do this. I guess we better fire this thing up. Let's get everything on. Let's go into the 2D cockpit, and we'll get rid of that right there for now. So we can see everything. We're going to get it ready to go. Let's set the mixture in, crack the throttle just a little. We'll set these two switches on power. It's the avionics right there. We'll go ahead and turn that on. Now we've got power to the avionics. Since we got everything on, we might all start get the engine running. Keep it all charged up and everything. Alright, we got her fired up. She is running. Our fuel is, we're full. Well, we're about 6 gallons short. It's been sitting there idling all night, so it's 6 gallons short. So that should be a plenty. I could run by the pump if I see them and fill it up on the way out. I think it's over just outside of this hangar. Seemed like I saw it in a bird in here. We'll look around. If we see it, we'll run to it and tap it off before we leave. That way we know we're full, and if it happened to be longer than I thought it was flight, we'll have all the fuel we can carry. Oh, let's see what we got here now. We got this running. I'm going to go ahead and turn some lights on. Oh, I don't want that thing. I didn't crank it. I was going to turn it on before I started it. That should have everything on here. Now we'll go back to here, and I'm going to set the altitude about 2,500. Well, let's go 35. I'll kind of try to get that signal. I may have to climb a little higher to get it quick enough to do any good. If I have any trouble finding it, I will climb higher. Let's set this right here at about 110. Something like it right there. And our heading out, I said it was 265, so let's go ahead and set this on, even though I will be doing. Now, runways where we're going, the heading is northeast, southwest. It don't have an actual number. You have to consider that to be down the middle, 45 degrees in your mind before you get there. 45 degrees off of north and 45 degrees off of south, opposite direction. So be down the middle both ways. Come on, 265. My mind ain't working. While I was talking, one track mind. 6. Whoop, jumped numbers to it. Didn't just change 1 or 2. I said it jumped 2 or 3 at a time. Whoop. There we go right there. We call that good right there. That ought to work. Now right here I'll set it runway heading when I take off, so if I don't forget it. Alright, everything is ready to go except we talk about maybe a little fuel. When we get outside the plane, we'll get that ready. Let's see if we can get out of here now and see what we can find. I'm gonna turn to the left. Well, I'm gonna put this right here up so I have a directional. Well, I want to go west from here, and that's west right there in a westerly manner, not necessarily dead west. I look around for that. Don't get to the building there. So close to that building you can't see it. It disappears when you get that close. I think I do have a pump here somewhere. I saw it when I came in here. If I quit pushing them buttons and turn my view the wrong way, my keyboard is on an angle. It makes me get on the wrong buttons. I know I saw it here somewhere, so it's probably behind some of these buildings. Might have been up till the end too. I'm not going all the way up there, I don't think. Well, I gotta go up there anyway to get to the end. To go west, I think I gotta go to the end first. Without a piano, cut across the end of it, I think. South, yeah, let's go south and then west. I think that's what it takes to get over. We'll watch for that pump where we're going. Cause I think it's in here. There it is right there behind me. I caught it in the corner of my eye. That's what I want to top this thing off right quick. We'll hurt the thing. Now what I generally do, instead of pulling it straight and having to push back, I'll let one wing overhang into the pump actually. Let's try it right in front of it instead of overhanging. But most of the time I get to where the wing actually hangs over in the pump. But to get me, make sure I'm close enough. We'll try it right here, see what happens. It might work. Across the front. Alright, let's see what we got. She's now full, 66 gallon. That's what we wanted. So now let's see if we can get this thing back to the. Now let's go back out front and head south again, and then turn west into the north. Try to find the northwest runway. take off from the south end, head out over the water north, and then turn 265. That's my plans. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Until I can't find nothing else, then I'll take the first runway I can find. I don't plan these taxiways out. I have no idea where I'm going other than the fact I know I got to go where I did look to see if northwest, east, south. That's all I looked at. And I'm turning right now to the south, moving east in. That's going to slap away from where I'm going, but I'm fixing to turn west right here. See, that's the northeast, east-west runway right there. There's nothing over here that goes north and south. So let's go down across this area here to the other end. That should get us close. But I'll see the runway from here. Going crossways there. We don't even have to all the runway. All we do is get an intersection. So this thing will take off in 200 feet, 3. Not more than 500. Should be in the air, more than likely. We'll go back right into here. And I see the runway in front of me, so see the lines on it. We're headed back about the end of it. Taxiing a little too fast. Just about ready to see the tail line come up. Taxiing way too fast for this plane. Trying to fly what it's trying to do. When the tail comes up, it will fly. And we are out. Pull all the way out to pull the other runway. I don't think nobody else wants to serve today. Nope, not at this point. Roll a little sign. A runway. Taxiway marker. Turn this way right here. So I guess we're ready. We'll take it right there up and we'll set runway heading on the other one. There we go right there. I need to turn it back off. I don't want it on, I just want it ready. Alright, here we go. At 80% throttle, should be a plenty. Tails up. Once the tail's up, just lift the nose slowly. Set the trim where she'll fly on her own. Raising the front of the trim just a little. I am now not holding on to the joystick. I hadn't turned it loose, but I have now. I no longer hold the joystick. Altitude set, heading bug set, airspeed set. Well, now it's flying itself. Now we come around to 265. There we go. Now, I didn't set an out leg off of the radial. I set 265 off that airport. The radial on the VOR at this airport is down 10 miles south of the airport. Roughly on a little military base, the one I use. So we're not even using that going out. We're just going to go out on ahead again. I hope we're close enough. We're squawking for I'll go ahead and raise this right here up. DME is not on because I have nothing on. I don't know if it's got DME on it VOR or not. I hope it does. It sure comes in handy. Now, what we're going to do now is we're headed straight down the lake here at New Orleans. Passing by Armstrong here pretty soon. Armstrong is out there somewhere. Probably right in there, probably. Up in there. We're pretty close to where we were sitting. But we was at LakeFront, New Orleans, and we're headed out to a little airport called Little Pecan, and the VOR is White Lake. And it's 11040 with the numbers on it. It's a low altitude. We're going to climb to 3,500. After that, we may climb some more just to see if we can get a signal better. But we need to get it as quick as possible and I don't want to miss it. Right now. I think I'm going to be able, by going off to the north and turning. I'm no longer on the airport. I'm off by a few degrees. What I'm going to do is just because I know that not in line with the airport. I'm going to come back to the south a few minutes at a few degrees. That'll get me back toward the center of the airport again. The airport is at least on the beach area. But let's turn 5 degrees that way. 5 or 10 minutes I'll turn it back. I don't want to forget it. That'll put me back toward the straight line off the airport itself from where I was sitting. I'm only a quarter mile north of the line now, is all I am at the most. About a quarter mile, quarter and a half, something like that. That's about how far I went out before I turned. At the most. Now I come back 5 degrees to the south about 5 minutes to get back over in that line, imaginary line, and we're going to fly this thing out. I'm trying to climb at 800, which should be all right. It's plane. It's a little tight for it, but as long as it don't try to stall, I'm not going to worry about it. I think usually it'll just slow down if it can't make it, just keep trying. But it will climb it out. Now, we'll bring our GPS up. Not that we're going to try to fly by it. I want to get a little general. It will help me if I get totally lost. I'll be able to relocate myself on it. It ain't something you wouldn't have flying. You would if you could, for sure, if it wasn't nothing but on your cell phone. Nowadays, cell phone got better GPS, and what we're trying to do is get back in line with LakeFront. Here's showing way out here, but it shouldn't be that far out. That's the approach. It should be right in here. This thing. Well, I have to do it this way to zoom it out. You can't do it that way. Do it this way, make it smaller or bigger. Now, there's the ILS to Lakefront, so Lakefront should be sitting right in here. And I'm trying to get over here in line with it as I go out, so I'm trying to move this way a little bit. That line right there is past it, so we don't want to pass that line. This is just but it starts at a state line, but it ain't. If it is, we got property out here in Louisiana. But let's fly this way a few more minutes, then we'll go back 5 degrees back toward 265. Now there's a airport out there. That's talking about Armstrong. That's it right there. Armstrong sitting right there, right here. It wouldn't be real bad to land on Armstrong. Armstrong may be a little bit south of the Lakefront, but it ain't much. And it may even be on the same line. Let's fly this thing out here and see what we got going. It's going to be a pretty good flight at this speed. If I can get any more or not, I'll go up to 120 and see if I hear it easy to speed up. I believe I did. Easy to fly a little faster than that. I hear them pick it up right there. They're coming up slowly. They ain't gonna do a lot, but if we get ever another mile or two, make it much quicker. It's gonna be a pretty long flight across here by being. Hopefully, it got plenty of fuel. But if not, we'll try to find. Since I'm not on VA, I can find an airport stop, fill up, and take off. If I have to. I haven't had to yet, but I could have to. This plane's good for quite a few miles on the fuel. Get rid of all this stuff here inside the plane. We don't need that right now. Not even that. Or that. Whoop, wrong one. That one. Now, what we want to do is I want to go right here. Check our, we'll see we're good for 379 miles as we fly. 3 hours and 47 minutes. Hopefully it don't take that long to get there. Oh, we'll see. I want to see what we had. We got quite a bit of time and fuel in front of us right now if we need it. And we're going to bring these back up so I can tell when something comes on. I'm not expecting it for a while. We'll use the GPS to get an idea of what we're doing as far as give us an idea for angles and everything. Now we are headed right along this bay here somewhere. I think it's right along these little lakes right here. It's where we're headed, which is roughly 120, 30 miles from what I can read. So I believe this is the VOR, I think, right here we're headed for. We're a little off, but we should be close enough to pick it up. This is 100 miles here. That right there won't be more than 10 or 15. As we fly by, we should get it easy enough. And that little lake we're looking for, little airport we're looking for is right along in there somewhere. Just off these lakes here. It's a little bit small lake with two airports that by it. And we're headed to Little Pecan Island, which I hadn't seen an island yet. I looked on the map and I didn't see no island. It may be there when we get there, but I didn't see it. Maybe a little bit beyond that lake that you can't see. A little island out in the lake, but you actually won't be on that island when you land. Or you're not supposed to be. Don't tell me I won't. Just might go out there and sit down on it if it's there. We're still flying 5 degrees to the south to get back on line. We haven't reverted back yet. We're starting to get on land here though. I'm fixing to revert back right now to about 265, which will put me off more than I am now, but that was my first choice, and I'll make like I didn't see that and see what happens. We go back to 265. The whole idea of moving back south of the line was to be over that way further. But that 5 degrees changes everything out quite a bit out yonder, but I still believe we'll pick it up. And that's all that counts. That's my first layout, and I'm just going by my layout. I'll plot the little plot before I started. A bit of conversation with my wife. She's talking about a movie she's watching. Oh, wait, let's see what we got here. Let's see. This is going to be, we are coast across here now in Louisiana. We're up to 3,500 feet. I'm going to climb it. I don't like getting away from the terrain where I can see it, but I do need to. Our electronics are more important right now than seeing it, because if we don't have the electronics, we don't have anything to find in that airport. We need them electronics to climb that other stuff. 1,000 feet, and that might. It won't give it to us now, but it might give it to us when we get there. We're looking at 50 miles before we pick it up, probably more. 50, 75. Which is 30, 40 minutes flying time, at least. Got a glass of water and a cup of coffee. Well, I had a cup of coffee, it's empty. I believe I'll have to go down the hallway here in a minute, take a little flight break. A little 2 interstate. About 10 goes through down here. Looks like an interstate right there below, going across or even across the water there. I don't think I-10 is quite this far down. I really don't know though. That's showing out in the water. Can't see them building it out in the water that far just because it's there. I guess it's possible, but I don't see it going out across yonder, so. Checking the train around. It's all flat land. couple more little cities. Armstrong still back there behind us. Still in sight. That little cock hacking around this morning. See if I can get that cock dropping and keep that slowed down while I'm doing this. Clouds look a little heavy this morning. I was running trouble there too, trying to see the airport. I can always clear it fast too. Clear all weather, get rid of it. We can see this is real world weather, FSX style. Sometimes it overdoes it. Most of the time it does. Got that dividing line right there, right across there. Little ceiling on them upper clouds. We still haven't topped out that 4,500 yet. Climbed at 3,000. I could climb just a little. Whoop, just topped out. I guess better let it alone. I did top out, didn't I? It tell me, yeah. I had to stop and think. Maybe I turned that off when I clicked it instead of it topping out. So if I turned it off back on, if it didn't need any climb or fall, it would automatically get it itself by being on 0. It didn't, so it's right. Recalibrate this morning. Back up and see what we got going. 50-mile scan. Like I said, I think it's our UR right there. It's the only one I saw out this way in that area when I was looking. I'll look see if there's any more in here. This here is so far over it wouldn't be worth anything to us. Could fly to that one, but I decided to just hold a straight heading and try to pick that up here. And that's what I got in mind. No worry about altitudes or nothing. Ground's flat, low. The airport we're going to, the altitude on it's only 20 feet above sea level. Good heavy wave, get your feet wet over there. Like I said, the runway headings where we're going. Like I said, we'll be leaving the VOR on 285, which will be, we're not using this to fly by, we move without hurting anything. That's the heading I'm planning on leaving the VOR on. Which I could use 5 or 10 degrees to the south on my heading I'm on now to be right. So that there could go probably 5 or 10 degrees south of that. 265 probably work on that. But we're going to go ahead with what I first figured because that's all we got to go by. We won't know better till we get there without cheating. Once I become parallel with that VOR and I hadn't found it, then I'll say, well, I got to cheat to find it. GPS is not available at this time to me, even though I can look at it. I'm not using it. That was 100 miles, about 75 miles. We should have, that's 75 miles, 125. 2 miles a minute per 160, 130, 120 is 2 miles a minute. So we're traveling along here. 35, 30, 35, 40 minutes, we should have that signal. Once we get the signal, we'll turn straight into it and leave it on 285. Could come in short of it and cross it on 285, that way you know you got it. Then we'll start physically looking for that little airport. We should be in sight at that time, or just about it. I don't think it's more than 10 to 30 miles up there somewhere. I don't think. By the judgment of what I got now to the VOR, I'm going to say it's not over 30 miles. Maybe as little as 5 or 10. Trying to do this on live stream and local recording, but probably delete the live stream as quick as I get on, because usually local recording is a little clearer and a little better. And until my decision which one looks the best changes, I'll be putting up my local recordings. The live stream was good enough to use the last couple of times, but it wasn't quite as good as my local recording. A little fuzziness to it that the local recording didn't have as much of, if any. The viewers I get during the local recording, the count would be lost when I change it, but usually it's not that many anyway. Usually one at most, 1 or 2, but I've had up to, I think, 4 by the time I get in there and change them out, or 5, but I have deleted them with the highest 10 viewers on them. When I do that, I lose those viewers, but that's alright. I'd rather lose them and have good quality videos than I had gain those few and have videos I'm not satisfied with. I've deleted at least 100 altogether videos of viewers, or probably well more than that, 100, 150. Just changing out stuff to make it more sufficient for what I'm doing. I'll be right back. Just get a cup of coffee. we make sure this plane is doing what it's supposed to be doing. We'll go back inside about a minute. Everything looks all right there. We are at 4,500 feet. Flying along here at about, we're not much over 110, so that's about all it's doing. It ain't doing that extra. I gave it speed up a little, but not just a couple knots. And well, it says airspeed. Don't tell me what kind of. It says knots right there on front of us. I guess it's knots. Sometimes these old planes have miles per hour on them. That's what's that? That's a Cessna airspeed. Come out with Cessna. Some of my finagling and changes. Now I'm gonna go to this one right here. Get in here and fly along this. You wonder what those sticks right there are in that in those wires. That's how they tighten them. Those sticks keep those wires tight and separate, and they're trimmed. If these planes didn't have trim, so they tighten them wires to create trim. They do it, of course. They fly it. If they don't like it, they tighten it a little bit. They fly it and release it, whatever thing it needs, till they get what they think they want for cruise flight. They don't worry about the rest of it in these planes. It's cruise is what they're working on. The rest of it's just whatever happens. But they want it to cruise as level as it will, so they don't have to fight it to keep it there. And they adjust the trim by twisting them sticks in the wires to shorten and tighten them. And that's what that is out there. The tail struts and wires, and then one on the other side, overhead right there. That's your fuel gauge right there, hanging out of the tank. The original fuel gauge for this plane. Now, how it works upside down, I'm not sure, but anyway, it shows it's got a little ball right there. Probably got a floating stick. The float on top goes down, pull that stick up down inside that cylinder, which has to be sealed airtight right there to keep gas coming out. Never seen one on the bottom. I've seen some on top where the stick sticks out. Most times the tank is up here and they got a stick sticking up right there. This here's got tank and the wings way of saying there. That's where I got them in my settings too when I put them, make sure I had the fuel I wanted. I always boost the fuel a little bit in these planes. I try to load them up with just about all planes, so they just about all they can hold. The tanks, I add tanks or whatever it takes to make them get as heavy as I can stand. So when I go on a longer trip, the fuel will last longer. I don't have to worry about it as much. Yes, we'll take off. It's a little clumsy taking off. It's too much fuel, but it don't take you long to burn it down to a flight blend normal. If you take off 10 gallon over and you burn 10 gallon, you're right for a change. But as long as 10 gallon don't stop it from flying, I ain't worried about it. If you're going less distance, you can just put less in if you want to. But if you don't know where you're going, if you let the caliber full, you know you got enough to go as far as it'll go. Couldn't have done no more if you'd tried. We still ain't got no signal. What about this here? Have I got this up to talk to me? Nope. Click that button right there so it'll tell me when it comes on. There we go. I didn't turn it on earlier. Now if it comes on, it'll tell me, and if I ain't looking, I'll hear it. But everything's still off, nothing on. The weather looks pretty good. We're alright for VFR today. So far, looked a little choppy a while ago, a little risky, but we're alright now. The clouds out front are small enough we can fly around them or through the part we can see through. On here it says we're doing, this near said we're doing 216, 100, 16, 17 knots. Don't have no tips on it in the virtual cockpit. But it's 110 there, it'd be 115, 110, 120. That'd be 120 right there. 10, 120, 30, 50, that's 120. I'm doing 122 there, it says, in that cockpit. That's more like what I thought, because if I heard I was doing 110, I heard it speed up when I turned the throttle up. But it didn't show it while I go in the other cockpit. The two gauges does not come dead together. A little different. They're not the same. Okay. I'm trying to get where I can read that gauge a little better. Yep, that says miles per hour. That's the difference. That says miles per hour, the other one is knots. So doing this many miles per hour, we're only doing 110 knots. That's what the difference is. That's what I thought when I saw a difference, but I had to be verified by looking at it. Oh, it looks like it's 57 degrees Fahrenheit outside, 10:28:35 time, 10 o'clock in the morning, 10:30. I set the server last night and I went to bed. I think I set it real time, so it's probably about somewhere in that area. I'm running 11:30 here, 10:30 there. That's gonna be. Of course, he could have set itself a little off too. That sounds like mountain time. A lot more Central Standard. That's still an hour earlier than me, so that'd be further west. The next time zone west to me is mountain time. Still haven't got any signal off that VR yet. And we don't even know if the VR will work, but we gotta wait to get out there to see. I haven't checked it in any way. Just got it off the map and wrote it down and called it. All the information to it and where it was at. Let's go back to here and get some idea of what's going on. VR sitting right there. And 50, about 75 miles yet. So we're going to be another 25, 30 miles, 40 before we pick it up. And we're pulling pretty good ways away from it. This is not as good a shot as I'd hoped for. I missed it by 20 degrees or more. But as long as it comes on, if I can get it within 50 miles, it should come on. Well, since this is 50 here, golly, I'm gonna be 35, 40 miles be awful close to being out of the range of it. I'm gonna be all the way up even with it before I pick it up. Pretty close. Just fixed to fly by when I catch it. It's gonna be my left heavy when I find it. I do believe. Like I say, if I'd have used this one, I could pick it up and went to that one from it, but I didn't use that one, so I decided not to, hoping I'd be over closer to it when I got here, but I'm not. If I'd used those, I could have. They might have even been a high in there, but I doubt it. I think all of them low. But this one's close enough to actually pick it up low and still have that narrow range of them at that time. It's 10 miles closer down this way than the other, at least. At 35 miles, this arrow slides straight down. It's going to be about 35 miles from me. That's what it's going to be. Which means the 50 will be somewhere along here, probably at the best. When I pick it up, they'll probably right along in there, be my guess. Out here. Just about the time we get to these. I don't know what those are. I didn't check the numbers on them, so I can't even spot check them without going to the map and getting the numbers off of them. Let's see what we got going here. Another big lake over to our right. I left 2 left feet this morning. Didn't watch it in front of that. But that's where it came up. I'm playing on the other screen, taking the sound away for a minute. Be right back to it in a minute. Home. See, I like the live streams up and running. I see it. Any viewers at all? But that is seriously. It ain't telling if I got any viewers on it or not. But it does say live stream. It's definitely running. Go back this way and go back in this. Go back in the background, see if it tells me more. Done live stream this morning just to be doing it. I don't know, you know. Well, go down one here right there. That's what I want to go to. Come on, give my. Here we go. To see if anybody's hooked in and watched this morning. If I can tell, I don't see what it tells. If there is, right. Well, that was time watching. Ain't nobody watched it. All right, that's all right. It's there if they want to, but it says 0 watchers. So I haven't broadcasted. I'm just doing it to be doing it. And I will check it before I get rid of it. The more watchers I have on it, the more I lose, I delete it. This way it goes. So I try that. Nobody seems to be watching at this moment because it says 0 watchers. That's what I was checking on the other screen. Put that off, come back to here. Be a small blip on the video, but I'm not going to take time to cut it out. It'd take 2.5 hours to cut it out and re-render it. I'm not going to do that for a little blip. It's not enough to hurt nobody. All it is a browser go in front of it for a second. About 60, 70 miles away yet to that VOR. By that right there is all I got to go by. I've called it 35 along here, and that's about half the distance to there. The way I plot the course, it's not totally accurate. The best I can do of what I got though. Sometimes be right on it. Sometimes, like I say, this is off about 20, 25, 30 degrees. At least on the whole distance, probably about 10 degrees. The closer you get, the greater that distance becomes. The difference becomes because you're flying slightly away from it on an angle. And as it comes around to your side, it gets to be a greater difference. On the left out, 10 degrees would have made a big difference to that direction. That's not that bad of a miss, really. But on a long flight, that would get to be more than you can stand. You'd have to put in some more markers so you keep up with yourself. I was thinking this would probably be close enough I could get by with just the one. Yet it's a little, I say pulling, started to say pulling. I thought it was, not really. My mind kept saying it may be several hundred miles. I'm kind of zoom out on that. I zoomed that map out a couple of times trying to see what I wanted to see. I didn't really know how far it was zoomed. But you zoomed out to shorter distance looks actually longer distance. We'll keep going just till we see we missed it. Once we know we missed it, we'll cheat and turn into it. We're going to find it one way or the other. planning on flying it by what I got on the paper, not by what I can see outside of that. If I can find it by what I got on the paper, I didn't miss it. Wasn't right, but not off enough I couldn't find it. That's my intentions, whether it works or not. I've just picked up a VR. Okay, let's see what we got. See, sometimes the distances are not what it says either. What my zoom and my figures in my head is don't always work by that either by a long shot. We're 59 miles off the VOR. It's off to our left. That is it. Let's turn into the VOR. We didn't. Really, that's not bad at all. We done a good job. Not near as much as it looked like it was from before. Let's bring this arrow to the top. In fact, I want it a little bit to the right so I can come in across at 285. Come around. We don't need the beeper no more, and all the help we got that is already it's over. We don't got all the help we can get off of it. Whoop! We just changed that. I wasn't ready to go down just yet. This is what I'm trying to change. Bring it to the top. Then we're going to bring it 5 degrees to the right. We'll be left of it by 5 degrees, at least 5 or 10. That should be pretty well straight up right there. Just a little past. I'm going to go 5 more degrees down to the south. Let's hold it right there. Now when we get this to 285, we'll turn and go across it and stay 285 off of it then to the airport. We'll come down as this gets about 20-30 miles. We'll come down to 2,500 or less and work our way down where we can see at the airport. We get there and be in a landing position of it. Now the runway headings, once I establish a heading out, the runway headings are northwest, southeast, or which was it? Both. Northwest, southeast. So we bring this down to the middle right here, and it should be close to actual runway heading. I got a phone call. Let me answer. I love telephone advertisements. I'd like to strangle them. If I need something from somebody, I'll call them. They ain't got to call me and ask me that I need it. $55 miles out of it's 5 degrees. This is 27, 21. So it is 10 degrees actually to my right. That's all right. I was trying to figure it out. I don't know which one of them dots mean what, but they're 10 degrees. All the big ones are 10 degrees. And the really dark ones are 30 degrees. But once we get on this 285, we want this here to be on 45. No. 80. 45, no, we want it to be on, this is 90. 30, 40, 40 right along there where we want it. And that'll put this right along here, which will be about runway heading on that airport. Supposedly, whether it is or not. Sometimes you get there and it looks like it wasn't quite what you see. It could be due to your approach point, but you think you're approaching a different point. I didn't, like I say, advertise the live stream, so the only ones that knows is ones that are following, and it's not that many followers. I don't know how many. I got 25 subscribers. That ain't much, but I haven't asked for a lot of subscribers. People that will subscribe, that's fine. I appreciate it. And the people that want to follow, I appreciate it too. The ones that come in and just watch the videos, they are appreciated too. I didn't start this YouTube to chase numbers, but apparently that's what I started doing pretty quick. But that wasn't my intention when I started it, and all I wanted is a place to put videos. And when I started, I had no idea how they think about doing it. It took me a month or so to get the hang of just almost getting it right. Still got a lot to learn, I believe, but at the same time, what I do is doing decent as far as I can see. I'm trying to, I do video smaller than my display. That's because of the smaller I display it, the more likely it is other computers to be able to run it. If I run it at a real high pixel rate and a real high setting, a lot of machines go to load it all, it gets a lot of buffering, and I don't want that for people. I've been through that all my life, trying to watch a video and it buffer every 10 seconds. I don't want that. I do my best not to let it. If you have buffer, it's not because I'm running high on purpose. I'm running a pretty fair video. I'm trying to do that and not run. But I run my screen two sizes below normal just to keep it everything. The game all works. Some of these games won't work on high settings. I do these old games and you have to set everything down. They won't even come on. And when they do come on, they be blurry if you got them all the way up. So I got some. I run a lot smaller than this. I run some on 900 something. I'm running on a 16 something by 1080, I think, or 1680 by 1050 is what I'm running. That's intentional, I think, because I can't run more. My monitor's a 19 whatever by 1080. But if I run it that 1080 and everything, first thing you know, people's buffer trying to run it. I saw that hand move. Do we lose the signal and get it back? I saw that hand move. He's there. It calibrated. It might have just updated. I saw that hand spin. I know I did. But it's still where it belongs. That's all that matters right now. All right, we're 48 miles out of VOR, and I suppose between 10 and 30 miles the other side of VOR should put us on the airport, but I really don't know where. There's a pretty good sized lakes here. They're all connected together by a channel. That round lake are under us, it's connected out to Dudden by a channel. Clouds are getting it, but it is connected, looks like. Now I can see it, just barely see the connections. But there's anything there and look at it, we get there and look at it, but don't look too much there and look at it other than just some water. I like to get out and fly around low, look at stuff, but I'd like to have something to look at when I go down there too. Well, I think it's something down there already. This is a pretty long video just flying straight out like this. But of course, you add something in the middle of it interesting, that's another story too. Nobody has joined this morning. I don't know if there's a good chance that I've been up so long that the connection is not good enough for people to join, but I don't know that. There's no way of knowing that by looking at this. I assume it's still joinable, but it's a possible chance it's not. There's nobody on it when I got up this morning, there's nobody on it now. It's also a work day and a lot of people are out working, kids are in school, so that may be the reason nobody's on. Usually I'm have late this afternoon, probably between 3 and 6, I'll have good chance I'll have 15, 20 in here. I pick up a straggler every now and then, come into Teamspeak. I'll post. I could post something right quick, even though ain't nobody in it to read it, but go to here, what I do when I post, and I'll pull up this right here, and I post the information for the WeFly TeamSpeak, the information I want people to know about, and my YouTube right there. And he's going that will be kicked because nobody gonna read it. Nobody in here. All one can see it is the people watching this video at this point. To be honest with you, is all it's for. I copy that, close that. I didn't make any changes. Go away. And open this back up. Then we'll open chat window and select that. Control V. That's how it's done. That don't look like what I had on there. Now you tell me why that's there. That's not what I done. That didn't copy over there then. So I'm gonna leave that right there, and I'm gonna go back because that didn't do what I told it to do. That's not the information. That's my YouTube link that I copied a few minutes ago for a copy and paste on Facebook. It did not pick up the information I asked for here. It was supposed to. Down to right there. Now it's got this and the link. Got it all. Copy. We'll try it again. Close that. Open that. I don't want that, so we need to get rid of it. Control V. That's what I was supposed to done right there. I didn't get the copy a while ago. For the information that anybody watching could get our TeamSpeak right there, YouTube channel right there. I generally do it like this right here. While people are in, let's give them some read the material. Then I close it back out. Put 40 miles out of the VOR. We have a WeFly TeamSpeak that we try to keep up and running at all times. We also have a Discord, which we don't advertise it. We got it as a backup. If TeamSpeak goes down, we got a place to fall back on. While we're getting it back up, it does happen. We've had it down a few times. And of course, I'm running a multiplayer server listed as multiplayer free flight Town Dog 10. And if you find it there, you'll find my server. We also join together in Join FS so that people that's got other platforms can join us. The ones that we play on Steam, and then we got the ones that still use Box, and we got the ones that runs Xbox, a few of those, and they'll join on Join FS. We play on single player and play together as a multiplayer. That's the reason when my server's not up, it's usually because I'm on one of the others playing. And when I go on them, I turn the server off most of the time because if I run the server and the node at the same time and join both of them, I'll end up with a ghost plane. And on top of that, I can't leave the game and change aircraft like everybody else as long as I'm running the server. If I run the node, I can. On single player, I can go change like everybody else and don't change the node none. So we just join FS node. If anybody that don't know what it's all about, I'll bring this over to that screen. There's my join FS. Whoops, it's in the background now. I lost it. But I have to keep it. It has to be selected to stay up. Anyway, there it is right there. All I got to do is join it. Now I am on the node. Now I'm off the node, but I still have it running. Other people can use my node even though I'm not on it. And that's what that does right there. This is all join FS. This is join FS 1.4.313, and that's the version of it. I'll move it back over to the other screen where I keep it. And you go to joinfs dot UK, I think, and find the latest version, download it and install it, and then you can either run. You have to open ports and all to make to run it. But if you get all the ports and all set right, you can actually run it, and you have to allow it in now through your virus protection and all. Has to be in and out both. It's got, I think, 2 or 3 ports you have to open, and they have to be opened on in and on mine. They don't have it both, so I have to open it in and turn around and open it again out to make it work. That's what I had to do. But 35 miles out. We'll fix start bringing. Well, actually, we've already brought it around 5 degrees. We're bringing the VOR as we fly this direction. We'll bring it around till it gets to the same heading as the nav1. And at that point, it'll actually line that arrow. Would fly itself in if I had it turned on, but in fact, I think I'll do that. Not that I want it to fly in, but I don't want to drive past it. By doing this, I can't pass it. It won't let me. If I get to talking, forget about it, I'll be done past it. And sometimes it's hard to relocate. Spend more time trying to get back on it than if I let it turn itself. Then as it turns, I can pick it up and help it. This way, the plane will start to turn and tell me that I'm ready. All that is set the localizer button. When that line gets to here, she'll turn. And it'll be on that heading right there, which is where I want it. It'll turn a little quicker than that, probably. Not necessarily. Sometimes it waits the bar, gets there and runs past it. Drink of water and coffee. Well, 33, but I'm going to come down to 2,500. We're close enough now. We won't lose the signal on kind of coming down, I don't believe. And we get down to 2,500, we'll be in a range to work with our airport when we get there. I get on down to about 1,000 feet as we cross the VOR. And that should be still well above everything. The airport is only 20 feet, and most of the land around there looks like about the same lay of the land. We'll be leaving out on a heading of 285 and a runway heading of, I'll get a heading or write it while I have it. I keep trying to fall back on it, I don't remember. But what we do to get the heading is west is 270. Add 45 to that. .335 will be your runway heading roughly. That didn't give an exact. It give a on that it just give a northeast southwest. So 335 be the northeast. Oh, that's northwest. Better make sure that's what it said. I may be backwards on it. One northeast southwest, same thing though. Northwest. That's where northwest southeast is what it was. So that's exactly what it was. Got wrote down here. So I am right. I just calling it wrong. but northwest is 335, dead down the middle, and that's close as you got since you don't have a number. Any further either one would be, if it had north-northwest, then it would be closer to the north than it would be the center. Or west-northwest would be closer to west than it is center. You can cut that number in half again if it called west-northwest or up north-northwest. Oh, we're coming out over this little water, coming down to, we want to drop a little faster. Get it on down there. Lower that nose by another 500 feet a minute. 29 miles out. The bar is moving over now to get close to 20 degrees. It was only 5, started out at 10, now it's 20, almost. Coming around. We should lock on at about 20 miles out or so. 15, 20. I'm just doing an estimation, I really don't know. I'm using the angle we're flying, the distance we gotta go, and trying to cut it to what I think it'll get there to. Watch to see if the signal goes out. If it comes down, it shouldn't, but it could. But it does. We have to climb back up to get it. Alright, he says we're down to 2,500. Time we just leveled off. Now I may have to drop another 100 to make him go to hollering. As long as you're hanging around 25, he'll keep telling you about it every now and then. Recalibrate. 26 miles out. Now we're getting really close to 20 degrees. I was talking about the difference. But we got a long ways to go yet to get it around there. Red arrow's got to come around the right there before it turns. 285 right there. See if this comes back up on which screen. It should be on the screen it would have probably did. It come on the other screen that time. Didn't block the view, or it does knock the sound off. Going back in and checking, see if anything going on. While this plane is flying, I'm checking the internet on. I had another subscriber. 26, okay, that's good. Somebody subscribed this morning. There's another guy in yesterday, he might have subscribed. I'd go to my email and it'll tell me on my other email, my Gmail. It'll tell me who subscribed. I'll check that after a while. We've got a live screen. We don't show anybody watching on here. It don't tell if anybody watches. So I have to go to the background to see that. Go back to the management. It'll tell me if anybody watching. This morning, since those last few minutes. It wasn't a while ago. Longer it's up, more likely is somebody will pick it up. Live stream right there. 2,650 viewers all total. It's not a bunch, but I've only been on about 5 months, so that's really doing fair, I think. Still nobody watches the live stream. They don't care about the watch the paint dry. Too slow. Plus, like I say, everybody's working. People are at their jobs and their kids are all at school, so nobody's jumping in and watching from there. That's alright. I didn't do it for that. I did just see what it looked like, see what happened. I hadn't changed anything, so I don't expect it to be any better than the last one. Come back over here now. Like I said, picked up another subscriber. Though that's 26 out of 2,600, or 1 per 100. Guess I can live with that. Guess I have to. Not worried about it. It's just, like I said, I didn't go into chase numbers, but I caught myself doing it pretty quick. Anybody that wants to subscribe, I appreciate it. Anybody that wants to follow, I appreciate it. If you just want to watch videos, I still appreciate it. If you don't like it, you tell me so. I'll appreciate that too. Of course, it would discourage me a little, but I would still appreciate the information. But I'd rather have a like than I had a dislike, of course. I broadcast most of my new stuff on Facebook under Raymond Smith and Town Dog 10 as much as possible. They haven't told me I can't, so I do it. I just posted a few flight videos a while ago and about 6 or 7 truck drive videos on Facebook. Anybody roaming runs across one truck driving post, it'll be about 6 different ones I can choose from within that post. Same way that I'm gonna put up a few more airplanes. I'm gonna mess around and lost the page. It don't come back up real easy, so I just give up, quit. As long as you keep that post up, you can post to it. But if you ever leave it and come back, it's hard to find on public, and that's where it has to be posted if you're gonna do what I'm doing. If I post it on my part, it don't show up on public. The comments don't. And I posted secondaries all on comments. There'll be one regular post and about 6 comments with a post in each one of them. That way a person can pull up one and they see all the others. They can choose one. If they see I catch one they want to see, they can click it. It does give me a higher view status. I've watched it climb by doing that. If I clear everything out and don't post for a week, I may gain 1 or 2 a day. I can post real heavy one time and I'll gain 30 a day, so that definitely makes a difference. I'm just trying to broadcast the channel and get it known. You can't have viewers if they don't know you're there. And I figured Facebook would be a good way as any to broadcast it. So far it's worked. I haven't been warned by Facebook about it, told not to do it or nothing. I might have had some that did come up. I thought I put some in and I never showed up. But most of them do show up. If you scroll long enough, you'll see one of them on the public. Of course, if you go to my channel, all of them posted. About every week I try to delete all the advertising posts out and start over. The publishing of my games. But no use having a bunch of old ones in there when you're publishing every day, every week, at least 2 or 3 times a week. I was posting almost every night before I went to bed. I was making 2 or 3 videos a day too. Now I'm down to 1 or 2, sometimes skip a day. But I'm getting a pretty good line of videos as far as the number. 200, this will be 218 here, I think. Like I said, a bunch of old games, Hard Truck 2, well, not Hard Truck 2, Hard Truck 18 wheels still across America, pedal to the middle, and one more I think. And then I got American Truck Simulator. I haven't did the Euro Truck even though I've got it. I haven't broadcast every one of those. I may yet. I don't really like driving the Euro Truck. I've got it. I played it a lot up front before American Truck Simulator come out. But the roads are so tight; they're really hard to drive on. I have enough trouble on American roads with the controls I've got to work with. Which I done pretty good on it, but I wasn't broadcasting back in. If I run over something, I just run over something and kept going. When you broadcast, it shows up and you run over, everybody gets to see it. Sometimes I edit some of it out, but most of the time I don't. Unless it's a total mistake. Then sometimes I just delete the whole video too. I had one where I tried to park a stupid trailer and it went crazy. And I never did get it parked, but I had to cheat and create a driveway to keep showing off how stupid the trailer went. I backed up and touched that trailer, it turned a flip behind me. And I didn't back up and hit it, I touched it. In real life, it wouldn't shuck the trailer, but that trailer turned a flip. I mean, I rolled slowly into the tongue when I touched the shoe flip. Into the fifth wheel, not the tongue. But I had been outside with the truck trying to push the trailer too. That's what caused it. I did push the trailer. I couldn't get double trailers, and I had to back them up. And they don't back up. You can't get them straight to start with. You ain't backing up very far. I tried to push that back trailer over into the line more so I could back it into place. Nothing else working, so I tried it. And I believe it would have worked if I hadn't backed into that trailer. When it gave me the reconnect light, I didn't see it, so I eased all back and I touched the trailer, then the trailer turned to flip. At that point, there was nothing I could do to regain the video. So I went and created me a driveway video and tied them together. And when I backed up, just before I touched the trailer, I cut it and I drove away. I know it's cheating, but it salvaged the hour and a half video that I was going to lose. I wasn't going to put it up showing that trailer going crazy like that, even though it wasn't my fault. Me pushing the trailer was my fault, and that's probably what caused it. It created a deal there where it wasn't going to agree with what I was doing. But anyway, that's what it was. I grabbed a double trailer, so I was going to Pecan. I want to go Pecan with these double trailers. I got up right on a roadside park drop off. There's no easy drop off there that I could see, and you have to back it in. And that double trailer, there's no room to get it squared off to back it in close enough that trailer will back up at 12-foot jackknives. And with a double trailer, they're going to jackknife, and there's no way around it. You might think you're good, but you're not going to back that double trailer up very far. You might keep a straight line, but if you got a turn or anything, you hang it up. And you'd have to be good to keep a straight line very far. A couple time length of the trailer is going to be about the crop. If I could have got that much, I could got parked, but I couldn't get about a half length of trailer. One of them was already starting to turn when I stopped, and there's no way to get under it to get it back over. You got your fifth wheel connector, and then you got your tongue connector, and then you got a fifth wheel on the other trailer connector. That's 3 pivots between you and that back trailer. You're not going to get them. Same way you get them big loads. You got the Jeep up front and the little truck behind. You got about 4 or 5 couplers. They're not going to back up very far. You straight, really straight, you might get half length of trailer back before everything goes haywire. I've managed to back up enough to make our intersection almost missed. But by then, the back truck be completely crossways, but it'd be enough room to turn my truck and get it in the hole. And anyway, I get back to the airplane and see where we at. We are now one. I just saw it move when I looked up. We're getting ready, preparing to turn 285 into VOR. We're 10 miles, 9.3 miles out of the VOR. We'll be turning here about 9 or 8.5. Well, the light hadn't went out yet on the navigation, but it's fixing to. The heading bug go out. Once it goes out, I'm gonna turn the heading book to 285 and lock it back on. In fact, I could turn 285 right now, be good enough. I'm gonna come around at least to that there, and then my takeover line will be less. The attack line will be less. It won't pivot so hard turning. It had already taken over. The lights out. Now you bring us to 285, which is the heading we're going to fly. When that bar gets pretty well aligned, turn the heading book back on. All right, I'm coming down to about 1500. I got a phone call. Be right back. All right. Now I turn to 285 and lock it. I would like to overpass it because I was on the phone. Now I can go 2 degrees that direction. That'll help. Right to. It's not all enough to talk about. Back a bit. I know you see going back over so close. I'm just gonna go back to 285. I'm satisfied with that. In fact, it already got back over. In fact, it's gonna pass it at 285. The wind's gonna push me a little bit. Look like. All right, we got this. Now we want to set this right here on what I said was 3. Set this on 335. I said. Something ain't right. Let me go back to it again. I said 335. $335 ain't right though. Somewhere along there. Let me check myself again. That's a 4, not a 5. 11. So that's what my mistake was. I put down my numbers. I couldn't read my own writing. 315 is what I'm after. Right there is halfway between here and there is what I was after. Now that's supposed to be runway heading, and we're going 285. When this gets behind us, we want to get it on. Well, this is 315. I want to get this on. I want to get the back of this on 285 after we pass. Now, we should be pretty close to straight in. It's showing a little to one side. But within 1 mile, you can't get much closer than that. 285 here. I'm going to come this way about 4 degrees because it's on that side. Well, wrong button. Seen the view change. I didn't want the view to change. Come over that way just a little bit as we pass here. Now I'm gonna go. Well, wrong button again. Put our equipment back up. Now I want to get back on this button here, and I want to go back to 285. I went to hit that arrow and I hit the 0 beside of it. The 0 changes the view. Get this here down. Stay on 285 out. This should come around about, well, this here should get close to 285. I'm trying to get this right on that line there. At 285. You'll have to fly away at least 10 miles before you tell what you're talking about. Now we're looking for a little airport, grass strip on the bank of a little lake. The airstrip's on the far side, on the south side, the southwest side of the lake. It's a little round lake, so it'll look a lot like it over yonder, but I don't think that's it. There's several lakes out here though, so you gotta watch that. I could be off that much though, swear I could. I think I will be off a good little bit, to be honest with you. I can't. It's not, airports are not showing up here at this point. Not seeing airports on here. Little round lake right there, probably it though, right there. Which I'm flying to this side of it. But that is 15, 20 miles out. It won't be, this will be out in front of us. It's gonna be over in there though. I'm not as close as I think. I believe that's it right there. I'm almost sure. I don't see no airports. They should show up on here and they're not. Something like that right there where it's round on the bottom of that lake too. I got a feeling we're gonna be off enough we're not gonna see it. It's not in this lake. Oh, I found it right there. It is showing up too. There's the airport right there. We're off a little, but maybe we'll be able to see it physically when we get there. I knew it'd be off because I was off on the left, said we had to be off on these two. About 10 degrees. But if we get to where we can actually see across there, though, I'll be happy with it. But that's it on the GPS right there. So that makes it 20 miles or so from here. I said maybe 10 to 30 miles, so I'm pretty close on that. I missed my direction by 10 degrees or so. The closer I get, of course, it'll be more than that, but right now it's about, when I turned, it's about 10 degrees off at the most. Actually, right now it's only showing about 5 degrees off right there. But that little grass strip right there is where we headed, the far side of the lake, that little round lake right there. About halfway of the big lake here, so that's what we're going to be looking for. About halfway of that big lake. But we could determine a little over half of his lake and turn out we have to. If you're just watching your map, that's what you'd be doing. You know that this is this lake, that's going to be that one. And about halfway up it, which we're going to be right along this. Look like me, maybe about the time we hit that lake, we're along here, we hit the lake, off to our left. That's what the map would show you if you're looking at it. flight done. Rename it where I can put it up on the internet. I'll check the quality of the live stream, but I don't like the way the live stream name either. Once they name the live stream, you change them, they'll always say live stream when you post them somewhere. It's no longer a live stream once it's been posted. It's a video, but you can rename it and it'll have that name on the video, but when you post it to another site, it'll come up live stream. It won't come up with the name you put on it. You play it and it'll show the name you put on it, but the posting itself will have a live stream on it. So that part I don't like either on that. They should have it when you rename it, it loses the word live stream and just go to a video posting. Even though it was a live stream at the time, it's not when you play it back. It's a preview of a live stream, but it's not a live stream. Alright, we're fixing to leave this lake. And these little round lakes here is them right there. On the map, this and that little lake right there, that one right there. Got two more little lakes up alongside of here we'll be going across. Once we cross them, it's off to our left about 30 degrees. So that'd be as good as any part of using a map and trying to find where you're at once you get there. You didn't have the GPS, you had the map, you'd be looking at lake shapes and forms and where they're at. And all these right here, those right there, and that I know. The big lake is on the right coming up. After you pass this, that's the big lake right there. These two little lakes right here, or these two right here. Once you get even on this lake right here, the heading we're going, it's going to be about 10 to 20 degrees to the left of that. Not over 30, so it should be off to our left, 25, 30 degrees. So once we get to that lake right there, we can turn into it. But it'll throw our runway heading off. When we get there, we won't be on runway heading. But that's alright. There's no way to line the runway heading from here accurately electronically, because electronics are not close enough. They're wrong. It's just giving me an idea when I'm looking which way the runways are. So if an airport turns out the runway's running completely crossways, it's probably the wrong airport. Crossways from what I've got this on, not crossways from where I'm at. Well, if we get, like say, along here, we'll turn. I'm gonna come on down to 1,000 feet. Let's make it 900. The ground is about 20 feet above sea level, is all it is. Give or take a little. Now we got these two lakes here. That's gonna be our lake right there. That's gonna be our lake. These two and then that, and these two and then that one. That's it right there. Airport's right there somewhere. We're close enough now to go to it. We don't have to wait. Once we can recognize it by physical eyes, it's time to go to it. So if we go past it just a little bit, right now, I'm gonna come on down to about 600 feet. And I'm gonna go out here past the airport, past the lake. I'm gonna try to go right along the back of that lake. Should put me almost wrong way heading. That's what I got in mind. Get this thing down to elevation. And prepare to come in the backside of that lake. Watch it for airport. Slow this down to about 80. We don't need to be that fast coming in. I already said 1,000, coming down to 900, 600. I changed that, didn't I? Alright, then we're going to bring this back around here just a minute. Get what we can see out across there. Right there for airspeed. I'm trying to get it where I can swing right in behind that airport. Should be an airport there behind that lake. Pretty close to it. I think I see it right there a little farther out. It shows right here, right in behind that lake. Now let's come back around toward it some. I hadn't got to be right. Just I'd like to be on the end where I can find it pretty easily. But I hadn't got to be dead on it. I just like to be able to see it once I pick up the view. It looks like one laying right in there. But it shows it over here on here, over in yonder. That may be this other one here, right here. That's probably this one right here. Ours should be right there somewhere. After we pass the lake, it should be to our right, almost straight into the runway. And it looks like one sitting right in there. I can't make it out from here. All right. It says it's right in there, but let's turn in toward it. The gray strip says it's not going to show up real plain. Now, how did I end up doing what I just done? I lost my lake. Did I move my plane, or what did I do? I flew around the lake. I must change my view what I done, distance. By doing that, it changes everything. Where's my airport at? I think I halfway think I see it right there, but can't make it out from where I'm at. Let me slow down to about 75. I believe that's it right there. Let me get it in the plane and get control. I don't see the airport yet. I don't see the airport yet inside. Let's go back outside. Oh, there it is right there. My eyes was, that's it right there. See, when you go inside the plane, everything changes completely.
Approaching minimums.
Throttle off, get it down.
100.
Level off.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
We may have to do a go around here.
20, 20, 10.
How about that right there? It ain't real good, but we're a little off the runway. But it's grass. Grass is grass. Where we at? All right. Yeah, didn't do a real good landing, but we're down. Well, when I went inside the first time, if I hadn't have been turned enough, I couldn't see the airport. I'd have had a lot better approach, and I'd been better off. But going back out and back in, I got that much closer while I was doing that. I turn this thing around now. Not much on that airport to look at, is it? Not a thing. All right, welcome to Little Pecan. And this is the airport of it, and the little lake right there. It didn't say about the lake, Little Pecan Island, it says. Now, you see the battles out there, there's not a... Let's check, see if there's an island out there. They named this Little Pecan Island. This is not an island, but it may be one out there. See if there is something out there. I assumed it because the lake looked like a little pecan, a little round pecan. But I don't see no island nowhere. How it got the word island, I have no idea. That's what they named it, Little Pecan Island. That's the island in the middle of a desert. They might have to get that out of it. I was trying to use a thumb button. It's just that they don't work as good as them other buttons. Too quick. I don't see no island nowhere. Let's fly around the lake here right quick. See if we can get back down to that airport. We're at the back of the lake right now.
Approaching minimums.
We're not at the airport. We're on the back of the lake. I know that.
Minimums.
We're back over. There we go right there.
Minimums.
That's it right there. This time outside the plane.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20.
Get down.
10,
Gotta,
10.
I gotta land, don't you? Can't stop. Come on, break it down. We're at the end of the runway. We're still on the runway. We got to stop right at the end of it. We just run off the end of it. Ain't too bad. Alright, that's going to be it for today. We'll park it right there and we'll come back to it later maybe. But anyway, that is Pecan Island Airport. Little Pecan Island Airport in Louisiana. And that's where we at. This is going to be a end of the, let's shut it down, I guess. Shut everything down here. There we go, and we'll shut lights off, the navigation off, shut the fuel off and let her die, shut the fuel switch off, shut the ignition switch off. Everything is down except the main power, and it's off. That's it. She's down cold. Well, it ain't cold, but it is dark. Be cold when it cools off. Alright, this is Countdown. I'll be going bye-bye. Catch y'all later. I'm gone. I gotta get over here to stop it because them buttons